Hey there, friend. I want to talk to you today about something that might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it's also one of the most important conversations we can have. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live into their 90s, full of life and energy, while others struggle even before reaching 80? I remember sitting down with my neighbor, Bill, who was in his late 70s at the time. He looked tired, slower than he used to be, and told me he didn't think he'd make it past 80. When I asked him why, he said, well, everyone my age seems to get sick or pass away eventually. That's just how it goes. But here's what I've learned after years of talking to doctors, researchers, and people who do live long, healthy lives well into their 90s. They don't believe aging has to mean decline. In fact, they've discovered that many of the things we assume are normal parts of getting older, like weakness, confusion, chronic pain, or even early death, are often the result of habits we can change. That's right. The way we live our daily lives, the choices we make about movement, food, relationships, rest, and mindset has a powerful effect on not just how long we live, but how well we live. So today, I want to share with you 5 common mistakes that many seniors unknowingly make, mistakes that may actually shorten their lifespan. And more importantly, I'll show you how to avoid them with simple, everyday changes that anyone can do. Because the truth is, living a longer, healthier life doesn't require expensive treatments, miracle diets, or hours in a gym. It's about making smart choices. Choices that protect your body, mind, and spirit as you age. Let's dive in. The first mistake, and one that affects more people than you might think, is not staying physically active. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not young anymore, my joints hurt, I can't move like I used to. But here's the thing. Physical activity doesn't have to mean running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It simply means moving your body regularly, even in small ways. You see, when we stop moving, our muscles weaken, our balance gets worse, and our heart health declines. Over time, this leads to greater risk of falls, heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. One woman I spoke to told me she stopped walking altogether after her knees started hurting. Within a year, she couldn't climb stairs without help and had developed high blood pressure. But once she started doing light stretching and short walks around her house, she began to feel stronger again, both physically and emotionally. So what can you do? Start small. Take a short walk around your neighborhood. Do seated leg lifts while watching TV. Try gentle chair yoga or Tai Chi. Even standing up and stretching every hour makes a difference. Movement isn't optional. It's essential. And the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. Now, moving on to the second mistake, and this one might surprise you. It's chronic loneliness and isolation. Yes, studies have shown that loneliness can be just as dangerous to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's right, feeling disconnected from others increases your risk of heart disease, depression, memory loss, and even early death. I remember visiting a man named George in a senior home. He was sharp, energetic, and always smiling. When I asked him why he seemed so full of life, he said, I eat well, yes, but more than that, I spend time with people. I volunteer twice a week, play cards with friends, and call my kids regularly. He wasn't doing anything fancy, he was just staying connected. So if you find yourself feeling alone more often these days, don't ignore it. Make an effort to reach out to neighbors, old friends, community groups, or even online clubs. Join a class, attend church, or take a walk in a local park where people gather. Connection doesn't have to be deep or constant.
It just needs to be real. Now that we've covered two major factors that impact longevity, physical activity and social connection, we'll continue with the next three in the next part of this video. These are habits that, once changed, can dramatically improve both the length and quality of your life. So stick with me, we've got more to cover.
All right, friend. In the last part, we talked about two major habits that can shorten your lifespan: lack of physical activity and chronic loneliness. And I hope you're starting to see how these aren't just small issues, they're powerful influences on your health and longevity. Now let's continue with the next habit, one that often flies under the radar but has a massive impact on how long and how well we live. It's poor sleep. Yes, getting enough quality rest might not seem like a big deal at first glance, especially if you've been dealing with it for years. But here's what research shows. Consistently poor sleep is linked to higher risks of heart disease, memory loss, depression, weakened immunity, and even early death. I remember talking to a man named Frank, who was in his early 70s. He told me he hadn't slept through the night in over 10 years. He would wake up multiple times, toss and turn, and by morning he felt exhausted. Over time, he started forgetting things more often, gained weight, and had trouble staying focused. When he finally decided to take his sleep seriously, by adjusting his evening routine, limiting screen time before bed, and creating a calmer sleeping environment, he noticed changes almost immediately. His energy came back, his mood improved, and he said he felt like a new person. So why does sleep matter so much? Because while you're asleep, your body repairs itself. Your brain clears out toxins, your heart rests, your immune system recharges. Without enough of that deep restorative sleep, all those systems start to wear down, and over time, that takes a toll. The good news? Improving your sleep doesn't have to be complicated. Start with setting a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Create a calming pre-sleep routine. Maybe read a book, sip some herbal tea, or do a few minutes of deep breathing. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. And avoid screens for at least an hour before bed because they emit blue light that disrupts your natural sleep cycle. If you wake up during the night, don't panic. Try to relax, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that rest, even if it's broken, is still rest. Small adjustments like these can make a world of difference in how rested and alert you feel each day. And over time, they protect your health in ways you may not even notice until they're gone. Now, moving on to the fourth habit that impacts longevity, and this one might surprise you, it's poor hydration. That's right, many seniors unknowingly walk around dehydrated most of the time, and it affects everything from their energy levels to their brain function and even their balance. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less sensitive. So even if we're not feeling thirsty, our bodies may still be crying out for water. Dehydration can cause headaches, confusion, dizziness, fatigue, and even increase the risk of falls. And if you're taking medications, staying hydrated becomes even more important because many drugs are processed through the kidneys, which need plenty of fluids to work properly. One woman I spoke to told me she used to feel lightheaded when standing up and often struggled to focus. After her doctor reminded her to drink more water throughout the day, not just when she felt thirsty, she noticed a dramatic improvement in her energy and mental clarity. So how can you stay better hydrated without constantly running to the bathroom? Try sipping water slowly throughout the day. Add slices of lemon, cucumber, or mint if plain water feels boring. Eat more hydrating foods like cucumbers, melons, oranges, and soups. And keep a bottle of water nearby as a reminder to take regular sips. You don't have to chug gallons, just make hydration a consistent part of your daily rhythm. Now, before we move on to the final habit,
Let me quickly recap what we've covered so far. We started with physical inactivity, how staying active, even in small ways, keeps your body strong and independent. Then we looked at loneliness, why connection matters more than most people realize when it comes to living longer and feeling better. We discussed poor sleep, how getting quality rest supports your brain, heart, and immune system. And we touched on dehydration, why staying hydrated is essential for both mind and body. Each of these habits on its own makes a difference, but together they create a powerful foundation for a long, healthy life. Now, let's move on to the fifth and final habit, one that's often overlooked, but has a profound effect on overall health, and that is poor nutrition. Yes, what you eat every day plays a huge role in how your body functions, how sharp your mind stays, and how resilient you are against illness. But this isn't about strict diets or counting calories. It's about making simple, thoughtful choices, like eating more whole foods, avoiding processed junk, and giving your body the nutrients it needs to thrive. We'll dive deeper into that in the next part, where we'll wrap up this list and show you how to start making small changes today that will support your health for years to come. So stick with me, we're almost there.
All right, friend, we've already covered 4 powerful habits that can shorten your lifespan if left unchecked: lack of movement, loneliness, poor sleep, and dehydration. And I hope you're starting to see how small daily choices really do add up over time. Now let's talk about the 5th and final habit, one that has a deep impact on your overall health and longevity, yet often gets overlooked or dismissed as just what happens when you get older. It's poor nutrition. Yes, what you eat every day plays a major role in how well your body functions, how sharp your mind stays, and how resilient you are against disease. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Nutrition advice seems to change all the time. One year, eggs are good for you, the next they're not. One diet says go low fat, another says go low carb. It can feel confusing and overwhelming, especially when you're just trying to live a peaceful, healthy life. But here's the truth. You don't need to follow complicated diets or expensive meal plans to make a difference. What matters most is giving your body the right fuel. Real, whole foods that support your energy, brain function, and immune system. Let me tell you about a woman named Helen who came to me after years of feeling tired, forgetful, and generally run down. She was eating mostly packaged meals, drinking little water, and skipping breakfast more often than not. After switching to a simpler, more balanced way of eating, more vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats like avocado and olive oil, and plenty of fiber-rich whole grains, she said she felt like she'd turned back the clock. Her memory improved, her digestion got better, and she had more energy throughout the day. So, what exactly should you be focusing on? Start with this. Aim to fill half your plate with colorful vegetables at each meal, like spinach, broccoli, carrots, sweet potatoes, and tomatoes. These are packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that protect your joints, heart, and brain. Add in quality protein sources like eggs, fish, beans, chicken, or Greek yogurt to help maintain muscle strength and keep you full longer. Include healthy fats such as nuts, seeds, avocados, and olive oil, which support brain health and reduce inflammation. And limit processed foods, sugary snacks, and refined carbohydrates, which can spike your blood sugar, increase inflammation, and leave you feeling sluggish. You don't have to be perfect. Just make better choices more often. Even swapping out one unhealthy snack a day for something nutritious can begin to shift your energy and health in a positive direction. Now, before we wrap up, let me quickly recap everything we've talked about today. First, we looked at physical activity and how staying active in small ways keeps your body strong and independent. Then we discussed loneliness and why staying connected with others is just as important for your health as exercise or diet. We touched on sleep, how getting quality rest supports your brain, heart, and immune system in powerful ways. Next, hydration, why staying properly hydrated helps with balance, mental clarity, and overall energy. And finally, nutrition, how making thoughtful food choices can boost your mood, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your body from the inside out. Each of these 5 habits may seem simple on their own, but together they create a powerful foundation for living longer, stronger, and more joyfully. And here's the best part. None of this requires drastic changes or extreme efforts. It's about consistency, not perfection. Even doing one of these things a little better each week, whether it's walking a bit more, calling a friend, drinking more water, improving your sleep, or eating one healthier meal a day, you're investing in your future self. Because aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean growth, strength, joy, clarity, and independence. And you deserve to enjoy every stage of life, not just survive it, but thrive through it. If you found this helpful, and I hope you did, I'd love for you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another tip to help you live your best life after 60. And if you've already made changes in any of these areas and noticed a difference in how you feel, please share your experience below. Your story could inspire someone else to take that first step towards better health. Because the truth is, it's never too late to start taking care of yourself. Small changes really do lead to big results, and you're worth every effort. Thank you so much for being here today. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and keep making choices that honor your body, your mind, and your happiness. Until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, and live your best life.